Chaos963, doing it to you again in 3D. So groovy that I dig me. Hope you digging on you. Glad to be here on today. Another opportunity to encourage, build up, fortify, share with the family. So today, if you read the topic, we're going to be talking about the world started in Africa, and it's going to end with Africans, our people, we the people of the continent. So, again, having an opportunity to share with you, further share with you, read on the line, all the opportunities you have, Facebook, Cash App, PayPal, Twitter, Chaos963.com on the internet, instant messaging, Chaos9638Z. Plenty of opportunity for you to get at a fella and share some of your thoughts and whatnot with us. So, having said that, I'm going to pour some libations. We're going to get at it. Gonna get at it, get at it, get at it. I'm working on my sound system from the beginning. I'm getting a little closer inch by inch, but I sure would like to get that going. I was trying to get it to record and whatnot at a specific level. You know, I'm gonna record and I'm getting all this, but I'd like for it to record at a specific level, so that's what I'm working on. So it's coming, but I wanted this is later, so it can't be sooner. Can't be soon enough. So at that point, I would like to pour libations to Julia Myrtle Lowe, my mother Ashe, to William Fredericks, my stepfather Ashe, Dallas Williams, my father Ashe, my grandmother Daddy Lenny Ashe, to my Aunt Janice Ashe, to my Aunt Olivia Ashe, to Ava Shani Ashe, to Papa Legba Ashe, to Belit Ashe, to Balaam Ashe, to Zagan Ashe, to Paimon Ashe, to Vani Ashe, to Baal Ashe, to Person Ashe, Asmodee Ashe, to Lo Petro Ashe, Ashun Ashe, Ezio Ashe, Chango Ashe, Oya Ashe, to the fairies Ashe, to Muhammad Ali Ashe, to Prince Ashe, Michael Jackson Ashe, to the spirits known and unknown Ashe, to the ancestors known and unknown Ashe, to all the folks that will ever get a chance to hear this, to their ancestors, known and unknown, Ashe. Just suck that in for a minute. Yes, yes, yes. It's a beautiful thing to know that you're not alone in your experience. It's a beautiful thing to realize that you can tap into sources and power that go far beyond the norm, what the average person taps into. It's a beautiful thing to know and understand that this is not some haphazard, out of control, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde experience. Every I is already dotted, every T is already crossed, and so that's comfort. You know, people like comfort, and that's comfort. You have the comfort in knowing that. The reality of it is, once you understand that, you can move in that comfort, man. You know, I see a lot of different animals and whatnot. this area I stay in, and it's interesting to watch how some of the ones I've been interacting with of late, some of the feral cats, if you will. It's every man for himself, God for us all when it comes to them cats. And it's interesting to see when they have an opportunity to have something that's a little more stable and whatnot, they really gravitate to that. And we do also as humans, man. We we gravitate to an opportunity for some comfort and some what's the word I want to use? Some routine. You know, that routine might seem boring at times, but a routine can be a blessed thing, if you will. And it's an opportunity with the understanding of who you are and the powers that be and the powers that went before you, and have set it up where you can have a routine in there, meaning that they can bring a semblance of normality to any situation. I'm going to talk today a little bit, if you read the topic, the world started with us and will end with us. And that's a powerful statement in light of the fact that if you look back over the last few hundred years in the indigenous people, that will be in question, particularly here of late. You know, it's like almost there's an attack, you know, and to every degree there is. There's simply it's an attack, but it's part of the plan. You know, again, I often refer to chess, because chess is nothing but a controlled fight, man. It's warfare, and in it you play on the board, and as you're playing, you know, depending on your skill level, you could actually see the sacrifices, if you will, for a successful end goal. And that's what has happened a lot here for us in this time that we're in the last few hundred years. It's been some hella sacrifice, but sacrifice might not be the word, but it's been some times when we've had to seemingly give up a lot and have given up a lot. But the goal, the end goal, is what's important, and we're going to that goal. And the sacrifice, again, that's a question where the casualties that we've inquired have been, you know, great, but the end is going to be just, it's going to make all the things that we had to go through pale by comparison. I look at women when they're pregnant and having babies. I was fortunate to be in the delivery room when my oldest my middle one was born, and obvious pain and stress jumping off there, you know, and you watch it and it's like, you know, this full scale 10 on intensity, and you know, trying to do what you can do. There's really not much you can do as a man except be there and support. But I watched it, and it went on for a while, and I was like, wow, man, this is it's a little too much drama for a Friday evening, you know. But went on through, and at the end of it, though, his mama was just elated, you know, and it was like a matter of seconds, you know, had forgotten all of the drama that she had just gone through to get to that point. And I thought, man, that's quite a statement. That's quite a statement, you know, to see that, yeah, you know, I went through that, and because, you know, for the most part, particularly if it's not your first rodeo, you know what's going to happen, man, and all of a sudden it's like, here we are, you know, and you're going through that, and it's push, you know, and all that old stuff. Excuse me. And then you decide to do it again on purpose. But it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm here to tell you that what we're going through now pales by comparison to what is in store, what's coming. This is a time of just intense drama, man. But what's coming? I like the way the word describes us. I have not seen nor ear heard. You know, we can't even imagine what's coming, what's in store, what has already been set up. some of us have memories of it, and that always intrigues me. I have a friend that I deal with and listen to, and he has just this incredible memory, and he can remember back over time. He speaks about visions that he gets, and just, can't even describe it. I like when even then to that, when Paul was in the Word, and he said about how when he was taken up, he said, I don't know if I was there or not there, but I was taken up, and then he said, it's beyond my ability to describe. I believe that's what is set for us as a folk, as a people, something that's beyond our ability to describe. So, started with us is going to end with us, and a couple points I wanted to make into that, and one of them is the fact that a lot of folk don't quite understand and get the fact that the whole world, if you trace anything involved in this world and its culture from any point on the globe. From any point on the globe, if you trace it back to its origin, at one point, you got to go back to Africa. You got to go back to the African culture. You got to go back to the African spirituals. You got to go back to the African everything. I don't care if you're in Russia. I don't care if you're in China. I don't care if you're in Europe. You trace the roots all the way back. You got to go, and I started saying all this by saying they've traced life. They say its origin started in Africa. So consequently, if it started in Africa, then that's where it came from. So if it went out into wherever it went, again, Russia, China, Peru, Australia, the United States, wherever it is now, if you start there and trace it back, you're going to end up in Africa. If you start there and start tracing back art, you're going to end up in Africa. If you start tracing back music, you're going to end up in Africa. If you start tracing back spirituality or religion, however you want to look at it, you're going to end up in Africa. That's profound, man. That's real stuff. I was sharing the other day ago, and I was sharing that how the land masses they understand started as one huge mass, and it broke up. It started off as Pangaea, and that was Greek for all the earth, Pangaea, and so. In that discovery, they was putting forth the understanding that if you look at it, you can see that if you take the earth and kind of move all the land back together, it'll all fit. It'll all fit together like a puzzle. Not necessarily exactly, and that's because as it broke off, because of pieces falling off into the ocean, because volcanic eruptions under the water and whatnot, literally pushed up islands and whatnot, and the erosion in some places and the buildup of time in other places. But if you look at it overall, you can see that you can just take it and push it all back together and have one piece. And so into that, you get an understanding that it's not hard at all to realize that the Africans was all over the world. Our people was all over the world. And again, I reiterate the fact that if you take any religion, any part of anyone's culture or whatnot, you end up back in Africa. That's a beautiful thing to know and understand, because for one, it gives someone, a people of someone, if you will, that have been oppressed and fallen up under this nightmarish regime that we've been up under, then you realize that now we come from something, from greatness. And this, even though it is what it is, kind of horrific, one, it's part of a plan, and two, it's going to pass, and it has passed. If we understand and look at the original writings, the sacred writings from Africa, and then all the ones that as it expanded from Africa out, all the writings, all of them speak of this time that we're in, that the prophecy of people being oppressed for hundreds of years, and then at the end of that coming out, like pure gold, because that's what it's about. It's about testing a fella in the fire. It's about sending you through something to make you be all that you can be. You don't become all you can be with candy and cake. Anybody can come through the soft stuff. But this is an opportunity, man, for us to show true grit. And I say that for a couple of reasons. And the reason I say it is because I heard a gentleman on today speaking about, man, and this really kind of, what as they say, kind of butthurt me, man. I was like, oh, pal, glad I'm not close to you. We'd have to have some discussion about that. But he, in essence, says that that blacks were cowardly because we didn't die in slavery. We should have fought to the death and all like that. And I'm thinking, well, nah, I don't quite see it like that, because for me the bottom line is to win, and so to all be killed off and dead, I don't count that as a victory. I remember when Patton was cheering and giving his troops the boost, come on, let's go type, whatever, that he spoke to them, and one of the young men had jumped up and said, Patton, he said, I'm ready to die for my country, sir. I'm ready to die for my country. Pat said, nah. You need to let him be ready to die for his country. And so I look at that and got great wisdom up out of that, because the win isn't in annihilation of your peoples. We're here. The fight is turned. We definitely win, and the win is here and now. And into that, I believe that some of the sacrifices and whatnot that were made in the past allowed us to get to this point. And so now it's time to it's showtime, man. It's showtime. It was the rope-a-dope. It was the rope-a-dope. We bounced on the ropes, and they just punched, and now they punched out, pal. They ain't having babies like they was having babies, They're not able to do the reproduction thing, like I say. So that's kind of a serious. That's kind of a that's interesting in and of itself, They say the numbers is down, Your Highness, and so. I think the rope-a-dope strategy or what have you was an excellent thing, and so now it's turnaround time, and although it was just horrific for the last 400-500 years, what's coming is beautiful, and personally I'm not seeing it necessarily here on this plane at this dimension. Because everything that was to be done here, we've already done as a people. And that's kind of an interesting thing. A lot of folks, we want to do the Egypt thing again. We did that, man. We ruled for millions of years, depending on whose school of thought you work with. I mean, it's obvious, the pyramids and on and on and on. What we did, what we built, what we designed, what we had, where we came from, and just it was phenomenal. Particularly when the vibration was really up, man. We was transporting and teleporting and telekinesis and all kind of mind communication, and just beautiful, man. Floating gardens and temples holding 80,000 and, Cognac and all them, man, they was just phenomenal, phenomenal, man. When I look back at those things, I'm really trying to jockey my way over there, get a look at that, for while the looking is good, the getting's good, because what is there is it's mind blowing, it's breathtaking, and they still don't know how it was done. So yeah, we've been on a level, man, on a plane that has not been duplicated, and possibly nothing like it before it either. So we had a serious run, and we peaked and did all that there was to do. We dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, and then we realized, as the prophecy said, well, there's going to be a time when we're going to go into this bondage. It's going to slow down, and the vibration slowed down, and we kind of got retarded. But before that happened, we left the breadcrumbs everywhere, so we'd be able to get back to where we were in our glory. We left the writings, man. We left what we even have now today is a fraction, a small fraction of what was actually left for us to discover, to find when we woke up. And now the folks is woke, to use that verbiage. The information is there. I mean, they got some information for you, and they thoroughly describe and bring the understanding of what is and is to come, and how to make the transition, how to deal with things here, stabilize, get ready, and get gone. Because what's coming next down the pike is going to be glorious, more soul-ish glory, and that's what folks is. If you'd all looking for the ending, there it is. That's what folks should be looking for. Now, as far as who and all, I can't tell you. I wish I did know everything. I mean, we do know some stuff. We getting them Akashic records, but as it sits now, no, I don't. But I know what's coming down the pike is great, and this thing is kind of finishing up. If the writings are correct, and I'm sure they are. But saying all that to say again that we started it, man. It started with us here. It started with us, and we clown, man. We put on our big red oversized shoes, put on our big red nose, and we got our clown on, man. We did the thing. You can read back on some of the stuff they had going on. I mean, they had beautiful gardens and music and theaters and huge bathhouses. It just was, they had it all, man. And then it fell into sleep, whatever. And now went through what we had to go through, and that's over. Because believe me, they're not going to be able to do. It's over. Because as the power that left comes back, as the vibration builds up and the energy is left with us, man, it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be showtime. It's going to be showtime. And it's a beautiful thing, man, to be able to walk in true freedom, which I believe is here and now, and to be able to share in true love, man, unadulterated, uncut, undiminished, unabridged, because it's been difficult in that we haven't gone through what we came through with this oppression and whatnot. It didn't afford us an opportunity to really express ourselves. You know, I can recall many times when I would see things, different scenarios playing out, and I would see my people purposely holding back because to go forward full force was just not smart, wasn't advantageous. And so I used to think, man, it's going to be nice when the time comes, you know, when the freedom of total expression is here. So with that understanding, it's nice to know that, yeah, when you understand and look back that there was this one big house, man, one big landmass, the tectonic plate, you know, it was the world, and then that bad boy shifted and broke and pieces went off and whatnot. But when you understand and study it, you realize that there was just one big landmass, and we was everywhere. And into that again, I reiterate the fact that if you go and you look at anything on this planet, as far as culture, science, religion, all of it, it started right there at the house. And as it went and was sent out, a lot of distortions and whatnot happened, you know, and it's seen in the way that folk act, man. Because I'm telling you, when I look at some of these people, I'm like, man, these folks, you know, they definitely needed some sort of guidance, if you will. You know, it's beautiful to know that we had our culture, and in our culture, it allowed us to not so much worry about the need for moral training, if you will. You know, we look and hear about how our people now are just, oh, they're killing each other, whoop-de-whoop, and all that old stuff. Okay, well, believe me, that is what was taught to us. That being in this environment we've been in for hundreds of years. That being the fact that on purpose they you know, miseducated and et cetera, et cetera. And so now that it's all come to fruition, as I like to label it, the environmental retardation, because that's what it is. You know, people, oh, you know, such, but when it gets back to the way it was, love and happiness, for sure, for sure. Something that'll make you do right and make you do wrong. Ooh. Yeah, man, I get the system hooked up. I'm gonna do me some recording, do me some singing. Yes, sir. So that's something to muse over, think about. The tectonic plates. That was the understanding that I just studied this dude Alfred something, Ranger or something, was the first to come with that. And you know, you look at it, you see it, and it just makes so much more understanding. You know, when you find out that they say, you know, all the folk that was over here as slaves, well, they wasn't necessarily brought on the ships. When they come over here, they start taking over stuff, and it was because that our people, man, our culture, it just didn't allow for us to understand that someone would come in and actually be and do what these folks did. They just, you know, it's not our nature. It's not really our nature now, for real. But to circumvent extinction, excuse me, we're not going to just allow things to go and continue, like, you know. So we gotta put that 220 volt on the cat, and we're going to reach right up into the cosmos and pull down mad energy and just make some things happen. But when they speak about the Indians, that they came and they gave them the blankets with measles and smallpox, whatever it was, you know, a lot of people say, well, the Indian, well, that was mostly us. We were the indigenous people on this continent as well. And so again, I mean, the horror, man, that these folks have brought is just second to none, you know. And even now, I look at some of the stuff that has happened that they've inflicted folks with, and it's still hard for me. I have to rise to a mental level to grasp it. And when I say rise to, I should say lower myself into, because on a spiritual level, I just can't see and understand, you know, how folks can conduct themselves like that. That is just, you know, barbaric is not even the word, you know. Animalistic is definitely not the word. I know animals that don't, you know, conduct themselves like that. But I'm not even going to go there. I'm true with that already. So just a little something for you on the day, understanding that it started with us. Everyone knows and agrees with that. And it's going to end with us. The power is moving, and as the energy is released, things are going to rise to a certain level, and it's going to allow for a level and degree of order, a different type of order and normality to come back into play, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. Having said that, I want to thank you for your time on today. Happy Monday. I'm looking for another happy Tuesday on tomorrow. However it come out, happy Tuesday. And remember, we win no matter what. The victory is in. I like again that chess game. You know, I've been in some games where I lost my queen. You know, when I was a youngster playing, I lose my queen and still be able to come back and put hands on you. You know, and so it's not over till it's over. So with that, I bid you adieu. Have a great evening, and I'll be talking to you.